the theory of a living offender. By the time investigators finished documenting the 15th circle, one conclusion quietly began to take hold. Spoken first in closed rooms, then carefully in reports. This was not the work of someone long gone. The stones were too carefully positioned. The ground disturbance beneath the outer ring was too recent. And the burn pattern on the map, recovered months earlier, did not match the age of the paper itself. For the first time in years, detectives began asking a question they had avoided for more than a decade. What if the killer is still alive? Not hiding, not fleeing, but living. Criminal behavior analysts were brought in to review the site. They noted that the 15th circle differed subtly from the others, not in size or shape, but in intention. It was not meant to conceal. It was meant to be noticed. The killer had chosen a location just outside the original search radius, close enough to be found eventually, far enough to remain untouched for years. This was not negligence. It was planning. Investigators began revisiting old assumptions, especially the belief that the offender had either died or left the region shortly after the last disappearance. That theory had provided emotional closure for some, but now it felt dangerously convenient. A living offender meant something far more unsettling. The story was still ongoing. Why the 15th circle was meant to be found. When detectives reconstructed the walking pattern between known locations, a chilling structure emerged. Each circle represented a specific interval of time, not distance. Each path aligned with roads, tree lines, and sight lines that existed at the time of the murders. And the 15th circle? It broke the pattern deliberately. Analysts believe it served as a message, not to the victims, but to the investigation itself. A final punctuation mark. The map fragment found years earlier, dismissed at the time as incoherent, was re-examined under forensic lighting. Beneath the burn damage, faint markings emerged. A symbol repeated exactly 15 times. The 15th mark was darker, heavier, pressed harder into the page. The conclusion was unavoidable. The killer wanted someone to notice the absence before discovering the presence. By leaving a final circle undocumented, the offender ensured the case would never feel complete. There would always be one unanswered question, one unresolved location. A crime that never truly ends is remembered longer than one that is solved. The emotional toll on the families. When families were informed about the 15th circle, reactions varied, but none were simple. Some felt anger, others felt relief. Many felt something far worse, renewed grief. For years, parents had learned how to live around the absence. They had built routines that avoided certain dates, certain streets, certain conversations. Now, the ground beneath that fragile stability shifted again. One mother described it quietly. It's like being told your child just went missing all over again. The possibility of a living offender reopened questions families had buried for survival. Was the killer watching anniversaries? Had he read memorial posts? Had he passed them in grocery stores, on sidewalks, at gas stations? Support groups reconvened. Counseling services expanded. Some families refused interviews altogether, not out of anger, but exhaustion. Hope is heavier than grief when it arrives too late. The case was never meant to be solved. As investigators prepared public statements, one final theory emerged, unofficial, unspoken, but shared quietly among those closest to the case. What if the 15th circle was not a mistake? What if the killer never intended to be caught? Behavioral experts noted that some offenders seek immortality through uncertainty. Not fame, not recognition, but endurance. An unsolved crime becomes folklore. A mystery survives its maker. The 15th circle did not advance the investigation, complicated it. It reframed everything without offering resolution. And that may have been the point. By introducing one final, incomplete piece, the offender ensured that the case would always remain open, not legally, but psychologically. There would always be another theory, another documentary, another anniversary. The killer did not disappear. He dissolved into the question itself. Closing narration. The 15th circle does not answer the mystery. It deepens it. And as long as its meaning remains unresolved, the town remains suspended, between memory and fear, between justice and acceptance. In the next chapter, investigators confront the most disturbing possibility yet, that the truth has been visible all along, and that someone somewhere has been watching every step of the search.